Hi guys, Jack Rogers here, and in this video we are going to be breaking down an e-com product page for a skincare company. Now, I know I sort of mentioned this in the previous video, but I just want to make it clear that this isn't like a set in stone structure for your landing pages. I have simply just designed these as if somebody came to me and said, Jack, I need to work on my landing page. So you can obviously, some parts might not be that applicable to you, but these are just some examples of what I have found converts the best. So this first slide here is going to be the hero section, and what I mean by the hero section is the first part where your website loads. Now, I have only designed these for mobile, as that's where sort of 95% of your traffic is going to come from ads, but the philosophy fits the same way for desktop, right? So at the top, what I've got here is buy one and get a free eye mask kit, shop now. So we're giving bonuses right out of the gate to increase the perceived value, but advertising the free eye mask also solves the next logical issue for our customer, which essentially means that our product becomes 5 times more valuable, right? Because we can solve an issue that they might not necessarily know they're having. Now, you can also experiment with putting your offer into here. So if you've got, say, 40 or 50% off, that will work. And then we've got a clear call to action. So just to sort of break down these elements here, this is going to be your add to cart section here. So people can just click on it and that pops up. This one there is going to be your logo, and that is just going to be your menu bar there. So moving on to the next element across the board here. So for me, on my mobile websites, I will always use breadcrumbs rather than having images underneath. And the key reason for that is it just saves valuable real estate and allows more important content to be visible on load. Now, underneath there, I will advertise a number of reviews and the star rating. And what I will do is link to the review section on the page, which just reduces the effort from the audience. But the key thing here is reiterating our trust and credibility, right out at the start. That's what we want to really focus on. Now, onto the headline. What I want to build out is a good naming convention. It makes the product sound more appealing. So if I just put in here, I don't know, face cream, or make your friends jealous with face cream, it's just more of a pull. It addresses the desired outcome for the user. And then onto the subheadline, the example that I've put, if you're tired of products damaging your skin with nasty chemicals, then you can put your product name is the solution you've been waiting for. So we're essentially addressing a pain point here that a lot of people face in the industry. And underneath there, we dive into the clear benefits and features as a bullet points, right? So as we can see here in this example, I've put clear skin in 30 days or money back. So that reduces all of the perceived risk. And we only use organic ingredients, which is a big selling point in the skincare space. Now, what I always do on mobile as well is have a sticky banner at the bottom of the page, and that essentially means that the add to cart button is visible above the fold at all times. Now, our audience is going to be skeptical whenever they see CTA buttons. So what I like to do in this sticky banner is, again, to reiterate the product name and showcase the star rating and the number of reviews you have to increase the perceived value and build trust, right? Now, a couple of things off this. You notice how there is no price displayed on load. And if you have a slightly higher ticket e-com product, or you're slightly more expensive than your competitors, I purposely have the price slightly further down the page, and that's because I would rather persuade my audience on the product and then hit them with the price than showcase the price and then try and persuade them. Because what I tend to find is if we have the price in the hero section, we haven't done enough selling yet to get them to purchase. And if you are slightly more expensive than your competitors, as soon as somebody sees that price, they're going to be comparing your product to one they're currently using or or to like another website that they're looking at. And if you are more expensive, most of the time they're just gonna be like, oh, okay, I'll just go get it from somebody else, right? So for me, I won't have the price in the hero section if it's more expensive than competitors, or it's sort of above that sort of $50 to $60 mark. Anything below there, then it's a lower barrier to entry, and I don't mind displaying it. Now, moving on to the next section of the website, what I would do here is have a bundle and save option. So as we can see here, bundle and save, offer only available today. Offer only available today creates an element of urgency and pushing them to act now. And what we're doing here is increasing the AOV, right? So as they buy more packs, then they get a bigger discount, incentivizing them to spend more, and as I've mentioned, can increase your AOV. Now, if you have a product where bundles don't necessarily make sense, then you can swap this section out for a subscription-based model. So receive, as an example, receive one per month for a 30% discount. And if you want those to be the most effective, you can also include some bonuses as well. So receive one a month for a 20% off discount, and we will send you a free eye mask kit, right? Now, moving on to the next part, underneath there, I would be adding a CTA again. And underneath the CTA, I will add a friction resolver underneath. And in this instance, this is going to be related to our guarantee. But you can also add the number of reviews you have, the number of happy clients you have. You can leverage sort of the benefits as well, or even a snippet of a testimonial. Now, moving further down the page, I will then reiterate my benefits of the business. So as we can see here, I've covered the amount of reviews we have, the guarantee, and then 2 sort of USPs and benefits of the client. So organic, natural ingredients, next day delivery. Now, moving further down the page, I will then have a section that, again, sells your product or service. So this headline here I've just done this on purpose to sort of address any potential objections. So a safe and risk-free solution to clear skin. And then you can sort of build out a little bit of text underneath there. I would then include a product image, and this just breaks up the text, and this will improve the amount of text that somebody reads. So as you guys would have heard me mention over and over again, the average person will only read about 20% of all text on a landing page, and the more text that's bundled into one section, the less chance they are of reading it. So I always like to break up text with product images. Now, underneath there, I will go into the Why Us section, and this is where you can dive into your USPs a little bit more and tie those to the benefits. So in this example, for skincare, one of my USPs is it's suitable for all skin types, whether you've got dry skin, oily skin, whether you've got a skin condition. We're making it inclusive for everybody, and that allows us to qualify our audience. Moving on to the next one is like the ease of use. People want to get their dream outcome as easily as they possibly can. So for this example, it's 30-second implementation. You can simply put it on your skin while you're brushing your teeth, and you are all done. Now, the next one is going to be around speed, right? People want that desired outcome as fast as they can possibly get it. So just as an example here, a skincare product that clears skin in 30 days is more valuable than the exact same product that does it in 90 days. And you can look at Netflix, Disney, Amazon as an example of this, right? If you look at Netflix, they delivered a service that meant that you didn't have to go to Blockbusters and buy the film. You could just go onto there and click the film that you want. Amazon, their whole thing is fast shipping, right? Who else in the space can have faster shipping than Amazon? Nobody, and that's what their competitive advantage is. So in this Why Us section, you really just want to tell your audience why they should choose you, and most importantly, why you are the inferior solution. Now, underneath there, I will dive into the how it works section. So we are essentially educating our audience on why our product is effective. Now, you don't need to go into advanced information here, and you don't need to go into the ins and outs of like every product or every ingredient that's in there, but just sort of give a brief overview, keep it quite entry level copy, but just educating them on why it works will help with your success. And then underneath there, I will have as many testimonials as you can possibly include, right? And that's just going to build up as much trust and credibility as possible. And just off the back of this, I tend to find testimonials where you either use screenshots of the testimonials from Trustpilot or Google will have a bigger impact because they are more legitimate. And as like an extra bonus, if you can include a photo of the person leaving the review, that just improves the resonance because people might see someone that's similar to them and think, oh, well, if it works for them, it's going to work. Now, going on to the bottom section is you always want to finish with FAQs. And the idea behind this is that if people don't quite grasp the product or service, they might be hesitant to make a purchase. So having additional information at the bottom of the page where you can address any other objections or any other points that like might not necessarily deem suitable for like the sales copy, you still think is worth having on the site, will just act as a safety net, and it just gives like the potential customers all the details they need to feel confident about the purchase. So that's going to be the product page. Now moving on to the cart page. So with the cart page at the top, what I will do is add in some form of urgency to get them to finalize the purchase. So as we can see here, your products are reserved for 11 minutes, for 7 minutes and 11 seconds, right? And I would just add a countdown timer onto there. And then I would then display the item or items that they have in the cart. And this can include the product name, an image, the cost. And then you also want to have the ability to increase or decrease the number of orders they want for that specific product, right? Now, moving on to the next page, I think a really big thing that you can do to increase your AOV on the cart page is to add in order bumps. So what I personally do here is add in 2 order bumps that are related to that specific product. Now, I've added a headline here of 90% of our customers add, which creates FOMO, the fear of missing out. If this many people took it, I may as well take it. And you want to make sure that your order bumps are related to that specific product that they're buying. You can either do this as sort of a cross-sell for like a slightly different product. So if you sell, say, like face cream, can you maybe sell like body lotion? Or you can have it solve the next logical problem, which is sort of what we spoke about here. Now, on the cart page, this is where our audience are going to be nervous, right? They're going to be nervous here. They're going to be nervous on our checkout page. So what I like to do is have some testimonials on the cart page. And what I personally do here is just have a carousel of different testimonials related to that product. And it just essentially reiterates why you are the best solution and why they should purchase this product. Now, underneath the Buy Now button, again, I will reduce all perceived risk by adding either your guarantee, your offer, or some form of tangible benefit. And then finally, underneath there, I will add the payment processors to increase trust with the sensitive information. Now, just as like a little rule of thumb here, cart pages can be either a slide out from the side or its own separate page. Both of them convert really well. I would actually just design them the same either way, right? Now, going on to the e-com checkout page. So at the top, I will have a progress bar to let our audience know that they aren't finished yet. And the reason for that is once somebody starts something, they are much more inclined to finish it. It's just that general rule of thumb, right? Everybody's creatures of habit. And that's why like multi-step forms work so well, where you have like name, email address, phone number on the first slide, you press submit, it opens up another round of questions. We're creatures of habit. Once we start something, we want to finish it. Now, underneath there, you want to advertise the product again, just keep it consistent throughout. So I would have the product image, the product name, the price, and the size. And we're just reaffirming their decision-making process then. Now, underneath there, I would always have the option for express checkout. And the more options you can do here, the better. So PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay. It just makes our customers' life easier. And to sort of tie on to that point, underneath there, you obviously want to include the option for them to purchase normally, but I have purposely put the "or" headline here in a slightly smaller font, right? Because we want people to use the express checkout. It's much easier for them, and if it's easier for them, they're going to be more inclined to finish the purchase. So we want to make sure that we do offer both options, but the predominant one should be the express checkout. And then with the form underneath there, you just want it to have it as like the regular form that you can integrate into Shopify or WooCommerce, but you just want to make sure that you add as many payment options as possible. So PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, and I think a big one here is going to be Klarna. I think if you're not using some form of split pay option, you are leaving a massive amount of money on the table. If all of your competitors offer Klarna, then we need to do the same just to be competitive. So I hope all of that makes sense around sort of the processes and the landing page that I would design for an e-com store. In the next video, we are going to be talking about a lead gen company. So could be worth a watch for you. If not, you can obviously skip the rest of this module.